Scientists have long been trying to figure out why ships and planes disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. There are many versions, but what about the frightening creatures? Could it be that ships are being sunk by a huge squid and planes are being shot down by an unknown beast? This is Infinity, and in this episode I'll tell you about the creepiest creatures found in the Bermuda Triangle. Huge squid. The Bermuda Triangle is known for many disappearances. One of the most famous is the disappearance of the Navy ship USS Cyclops in 1918. There were more than 300 people aboard and no one was ever found. Neither was there any wreckage. To this day, the fate of the ship remains unknown. On learning of the accident, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson stated, "Only God and the sea know what happened." On October 21, 1944, in the area of the Bermuda Triangle, the American ship Rubicon, with more than 300 people on board, mysteriously disappeared. The ship was soon discovered off the coast of Florida but was empty. There was no one aboard except a hungry dog. The personal effects of people were still there, but it was a mystery where each and every one of them had disappeared to. Perhaps in the Bermuda Triangle lurks the creature responsible for the disappearance of all ships and people at the same time. Some researchers are convinced that the reason lies in the huge squid that lives there. It's believed that the monster can reach several tens of meters in size and is able to drag ships to the bottom with its powerful tentacles. Plus, this creature is the master of surprise effect because the squid suddenly appears from the depths. The monster sees ships from afar as its eyes are incredibly large. The squid itself is very smart and careful. Do you think a squid of enormous size could devour ships along with their crew that happen to be in close proximity to the Bermuda Triangle? Could the huge and bulging eyes on the dead pale body be the last thing people on the ship see? Or maybe this creature's the reason. The Bermuda Beast is a monster of colossal size that probably inhabits the Bermuda Triangle region. According to legend, it jumps out of the water and catches airplanes in midair, causing them to crash. The beast also swallows vessels mercilessly. This creature seems to be an alternative explanation for the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. If it exists, it's unequivocally one of the largest creatures that ever existed. Do you believe in such a thing? Well, not everyone wants to believe in the giant squid or the Bermuda Beast. The creatures I'll tell you about next are not to be doubted. Stay tuned to see the dragonfish, goblin shark, vampire squid, and other absolutely real inhabitants of the mysterious Bermuda Triangle. Dragonfish. Dragons do exist, but not in the form or the size you've already imagined. These creatures live at staggering depths of 1.5 to 2,000 meters. The deep-sea barbelled dragonfish looks quite intimidating because of its black coloration and the light it produces on its own. It has a large head and mouth with a large number of sharp, fang-like teeth. In addition, the dragonfish is simply gigantic compared to its body eyes, through which it can quite well see even in pitch darkness of the sea depths. In addition to these advantages, perhaps the most important is the following. The deep-sea barbelled dragonfish has a long whisker which grows from the chin. This organ is actively used as bait to attract prey to the dragonfish's tooth-filled mouth. It contains an organ called a photophore, which produces light. This deep-dwelling creature has a very specific way of catching naive victims. It sticks out its so-called whisker forward and waves it from side to side. As soon as the unsuspecting victim gets too close, the strong jaws of the dragonfish swoop down on them. Dragons are not the only unusual creatures straight from the Bermuda Triangle. There are even vampires in these waters. Fortunately, they're not the kind that suck all the blood out of the poor victims. The life of these vampires is not so bright. They carry on and drift leisurely through the deep water currents. By the way, this vampire literally has blue blood. The vampire squid is a creature with an ominous name and looking just the same. The vampire squid is the only cephalopod mollusk that spends its entire life at depths of 400 to 1,000 meters in extreme conditions of total darkness with minimal dissolved oxygen in the water. The body of this creature resembles that of a jellyfish that turns red, purple, velvet black, or brown depending on lighting conditions. A pair of fins grows on the back of its body, which the vampire squid uses to move underwater. Its 8 webbed tentacles are covered with soft needles. The vampire squid's almost entire body is covered with photophores, like in the case of the deep-sea barbel dragonfish. Plus, vampire squids have very good control over these organs. Another interesting point is that the vampire squid does not have an ink sac, typical of a shallow-watered cephalopods. The vampire squid was born to live in deep water, and in the dark, the ink is useless anyway. If the vampire squid is threatened by something, it releases a sticky cloud of bioluminescent slime containing countless blue glowing balls from the tip of its tentacles instead of ink. Also, it can literally turn itself inside out for protection, thus diverting the attack from vital body parts. In fact, so far the vampire squid is little studied. Maybe it will reveal a new side later and give away its secrets to the last one. Goblin shark. The Bermuda Triangle brought all kinds of creatures together. Among others, there's also the goblin shark. The shark is considered one of the poorly studied shark species. It lives in deep water. The shark receives such an unusual name because of its bizarre appearance. It's only worth looking at as the structure of the head catches the eye at once. The muzzle ends with a long beak-like protrusion, and the elongated jaws are able to extend far. Moreover, the shark is also distinguished by its unique coloration. It's close to pink. This is due to the huge number of blood vessels which are seen through the skin. The presence of such a huge number of blood vessels close to the surface of the body suggests that this monster can breathe through the skin. Goblin shark fins have a bluish hue. Eyes in relation to the whole body are not so impressive, but they're able to give off a greenish glow in the dark. It's known that some individuals can grow to almost 4 meters in length and weigh more than 200 kilograms. This little studied creature has a very unusual way of catching prey. The goblin shark draws water into itself in the place where the shark's receptor indicated the possible presence of prey. Thus, food along with the streams of water goes directly into the predator's mouth. The shark's massive jaw can bend and extend outward, so victims find it difficult to resist the shark. The deep-sea goblin shark has been known to science for over 100 years, but leads a rather secretive lifestyle and is in no hurry to reveal its secrets to scientists at all. I think it has yet to reveal its secrets. Gulper. The gulper eel, also known as the pelican eel, is one of the strangest and creepiest creatures lurking in the depths of the ocean. This fish has a long and narrow body that wriggles from side to side as it moves through the water. But if the pelican eel opens its mouth, it's immediately clear why it has this name. In general, the pelican eel has no ribs, scales, or swim bladder. The creature's skeleton is a small amount of deformed bones and small cartilage. The skull and eyes are also small, but its mouth has a giant stretchy throat, which resembles the throat pouch of a pelican. This stunning feature can help the fish to scoop water into its mouth and thus capture and hold its prey. This predator can swallow very large prey. Sometimes it's even much larger than itself. For this reason, the stomach of the pelican eel stretches to an unbelievable size. Pelican eels, like their other deep-sea creatures, also have photophores. These are located at the end of the tail. They're used to attract the attention of the inhabitants these creatures hunt on. That's all, guys. What unknown sea monsters do you think live in the Bermuda Triangle? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you later.